The story takes place in Rome, and throughout the movie we follow the different stories of Leopoldo, John, the young couple Antonio and Millie, and Haley. Haley is an American tourist having a hard time navigating the streets of Rome. She meets a man with a handsome physique, who offers to accompany her around the city. His name is Michelangelo Santulli. Haley is surprised to learn that he speaks English well. He tells her that he often travels to New York for his work as a lawyer. Coincidentally, Haley is from New York. The two spend the day together, going to tourist spots and getting to know more about each other. They meet more often during Haley's summer vacation, and develop a romantic relationship. The young couple, Antonio and Millie, are getting off their train. They want to visit Rome for their honeymoon, and plan to settle there. Antonio's uncle has offered him a job in their family business, and they see this as an opportunity to start their new lives. John Foy is a well-known American architect visiting Rome with his wife, Carol, and their friends. They are having lunch at a cafe and enjoying their wonderful time together. Finally, Leopoldo Pisanello is living his mundane life as an office clerk. Haley and Michelangelo are now engaged, and they are excited for her to meet his parents. They arrive at his family's home and have lunch together. She shares that she is self-employed, helping people find art. His father, Giancarlo, commends her and tells her how very proud he is of his children. He inquires about her family, and she gladly tells him that they are coming to visit. On their flight, Haley's parents Jerry and Phyllis are talking about their daughter's fiancé. Phyllis is excited to meet him, while Jerry is skeptical about him being a minimalistic philanthropist, as he wants the best life for his daughter. Meanwhile, Antonio and Millie check into their hotel room. Antonio's relatives are coming over to meet with them. Antonio is incredibly nervous that he might mess things up, especially when he is starting to work for his uncle. Millie assures him that everything will be fine. Millie leaves their room to avail the salon service of the hotel, only to find out that it is fully booked. Eager to impress her husband's relatives, she goes out to find the nearest salon. John used to live in Rome when he was a young man. He remembers how amazing the time he spent there was, but he is not interested in touring it. Carol and their friends decide to tour themselves and meet up with John afterward. John is walking around his old neighborhood when an architecture student named Jack recognizes him. John tells him that he used to live there and is just visiting. Jack offers to show him around. John is hesitant at first, but decides to come with him for the sake of nostalgia. Leopoldo is just starting his day. He is a frugal man, eager to provide for his family. He heads to his office, spends the day working, and is very vocal to his office mates about his socio-economic opinions. After work he goes to see a movie with his friends, immediately sharing his critique as they walk out of the cinema. His friends are not interested in his deep dives, and just want to appreciate the movie for their experience. Furthermore, a crowd has gathered in front of a cafe, eager to see celebrities who came to Rome to promote their movie. They are more eager to get into that than to listen to Leopoldo's rambling. Phyllis and Jerry are staying at a hotel in Rome. Phyllis is just enjoying their vacation, while Jerry is not too happy about his retirement. He is a retired opera director and does not like the feeling of not working anymore. He wants to make more of an impact in his field. Millie starts asking around for the salon, but as she talks to more and more people, the farther away she gets from their hotel, and she soon gets lost. A long time has passed, and the sun is starting to set. She has no idea where she is, or how to get back. Antonio starts calling her, worried. Millie takes out her phone, but accidentally drops it into a ditch. In another part of the city, Jack invites John to his apartment, telling him that his girlfriend, Sally, makes some incredible espresso. Sally welcomes them and offers them a drink. She tells Jack that her friend Monica is coming over to visit. She has recently gotten out of a relationship, and is seeking emotional support. John tells him that Sally's friend reeks of danger. She is a delightful person but unpredictable, which could lead to anything. Jack assures him that everything is fine, and he is already happy with Sally anyway. Monica starts sharing the details of her breakup with her ex-boyfriend, Donald. Donald is gay, and Monica tried turning him straight by showing him the pleasure she can give him. In the end, she was the one who left the relationship, because she realized that she could not change who he truly is. She shares her other sexual experiences with both men and women, and how exciting and passion-filled her experiences were. Listening to her is both awkward and intense for Jack. Sally, oblivious to her boyfriend's mixed feelings for her friend, compliments Monica's personality even more. Jack tells her that Monica is essentially nothing special, considering she does not have a stable relationship or career. John suddenly appears and suggests that maybe is just trying to convince himself that there is nothing attractive about Monica. Monica invites them for a walk. John quickly expresses his strong disagreement, saying that she made up all the sexual suggestions in her stories and set up a whole plan to bait out Jack. Sally initially bails out, but John convinces her to come along. Leopoldo is starting his day as usual when he gets swarmed by a bunch of paparazzi outside his house. Surprised by the sudden attention, he runs back to his house and calls his wife for help. A black car arrives in front of their house and escorts him to the studio. When they arrive, Leopoldo is rushed into the dressing room to prepare for his television appearance. It turns out that he is a special guest on a TV program. He still has no idea why he is there or why he suddenly became famous, but he tries his best to answer the host's questions. The whole staff congratulates him after the successful shoot, which still leaves him bewildered. When the car drops him back home, the paparazzi are still waiting outside. They mob him the moment he sets foot out of the vehicle. Leopoldo hurriedly opens the door to his house, calling out his wife. He shuts the door behind him, relieved to finally take a breath in the safety of his home. Sophia runs to him, filled with joy, saying that another news show wants him to appear in their program tomorrow. She commends his great work earlier and congratulates him on his newfound fame. Phyllis and Jerry visit Michelangelo's father at his funeral parlor. Jerry cannot believe that his in-law is a mortician. The more he is getting to know Michelangelo and his family, the more he is hating them. Giancarlo sees them and invites them into his home. He introduces them to his wife, before excusing himself to go clean up after his day at work. Haley and Michelangelo arrive, at the same time as Michelangelo's mother is serving snacks. Phyllis is delighted with her cooking, and is brought in for some cooking lessons, along with the young couple. Meanwhile, Jerry remains alone in the living room. He suddenly hears a magnificent voice coming from the bathroom. Giancarlo has a beautiful voice and sings an opera piece in the comforts of his bathroom while having a shower. Later that afternoon, the whole family is gathered around the balcony, eating together. Jerry is still stunned by Giancarlo's incredible talent. Giancarlo tells him that he never had voice training, he just sings for his own entertainment. Jerry commends him and suggests that he makes a career out of it. Michelangelo explains that his father only sings for his happiness, and not for money. Giancarlo adds that he is not a singer, and performing for others only makes him embarrassed. However, Jerry insists that he make use of that talent. He offers to introduce him to a music producer he knows who can help him. At this point, Michelangelo stops him, saying that is not what his father wants. Jerry tries to drop the subject, but he is just too invested, and regrets that such an amazing talent will go to waste. Antonio introduces Anna as his wife to his relatives. They are intrigued by how she dresses, but she does not let them dictate how she acts. Meanwhile, Millie is still lost in the city, sitting by the fountain. A woman notices her depressed attitude and asks how she is. Millie assures her that she is fine, and recognizes her as Pia Fusari, her favorite actress. It turns out they are filming a movie in that part of the city, and she invites Millie to watch along. Millie happily agrees and sees more celebrities. Among them is Luca Salta, whom she adores for his charismatic personality. In another part of the city, Sally asks Jack to show Monica around, since she has classes to attend. Jack refuses, saying that he is busy with his project, but Sally pleads with him to do it for her. That afternoon, Jack brings Monica to the Colosseum, and the two of them have a great time admiring the rich history of the civilization that once stood there. John appears before them and rips Monica's personality apart. He tells Jack that she is only using the right words to make herself seem more impressive than she is. She is baiting Jack in, and he is falling for it. Back with Leopoldo, his new celebrity status brings him prestige, such as being given a new office just for himself. He cannot believe that a clerk like him would be given something so grand, and in addition, he is assigned a beautifully daring secretary to attend to everything he needs. The moment Leopoldo steps out of his office building, a bunch of paparazzi and fans gather around him. He is asked for autographs and interviews. He is given a bunch of kisses from strangers. Even the position he sleeps in is a big deal for the press. When he gets home, his wife is frantically looking for a dress to wear at a movie premiere they will be going to. Leopoldo is sitting in bed, tired from his day with the paparazzi. He does not want to go to the premiere anymore. However, his wife tells him that they will not start the movie without him. He thinks that the situation is getting ridiculous. He is just a nobody. He does not understand why he is suddenly getting all the attention. Celebrities start showing up at the movie premiere, walking down the red carpet. When Leopoldo and Sofia come out of their car, the crowd goes wild. The reporters scrutinize Sofia's outfit, but at the same time, they think that her cheap-looking outfit and run-down stockings are the new fashion trend. Meanwhile, a beautiful actress approaches Leopoldo and tells him that he is more good-looking than any other leading man. She tells him that she wants to get to know him better and gives him her calling card. As decided by him and Sally, Jack introduces Monica to their friend Leonardo so she can have someone to bond with. They immediately start touring the city and get to know each other better. Jack confides in John, admitting that he feels jealous and wants Monica for himself. Jerry is still not letting go of the subject of Giancarlo's talent. He sees a future for the talented man, and believes that this is the break he has been waiting for as an opera director. He tells Giancarlo that he has talked to his music producer friend and got an audience for him. Giancarlo is frustrated that Jerry does not respect his wishes. However, Jerry remains persistent, and encourages him that he can sing Pagliaccia, and with his help, he can take him far. Giancarlo dreams of singing Pagliaccia, so he finally agrees with him. Jerry brings him to the theater for an audition right away. Unfortunately, Giancarlo's performance is a letdown because of his nervousness. He has never sung in front of an audience before, so he is naturally frightened at that moment. Giancarlo apologizes to him when they get back home. Michelangelo is infuriated at him for putting his father in that situation. This sparks an argument between the two families. Meanwhile, Giancarlo is singing once again in the shower. Jerry proves his point that Giancarlo is a talented man. Michelangelo tells him that his father can only sing all by himself in the shower. This sparks a brilliant idea in Jerry's mind, and he realizes how he can tackle this situation. In the streets of Rome, the movie crew is having a short lunch break before continuing. Pia introduces Millie to Luca. She is starstruck to meet her favorite actor. She tells him how much she admires his work. Luca is flattered with her and invites her to lunch. Millie does not hesitate and agrees with him immediately. He brings her to a local restaurant. Coincidentally, Antonio, Anna, and his relatives are having lunch there as well. Antonio's relatives notice the famous actor and think that Millie is his wife. When Antonio looks over at them, he is baffled to see Millie with the actor. Luca invites her to watch his shoot later that afternoon and invites her to his place after. Leopoldo is getting the hang of his fame. He sees that his new status has a lot of benefits to it. He gets to take a fashion model to dinner in an exclusive restaurant. Customers are supposed to have a reservation, but because he is Leopoldo Pisanello, the management welcomes him and is delighted by his presence because he brings good publicity. He gets to sleep with beautiful women who are dying to spend the night with him, even though they are already married. Jack is now all caught up with Monica, and he just agrees with everything she says. She encourages the four of them to sneak into one of the old Roman baths for adventure. It rains at night, and their group gets separated. Being alone together, Jack finally makes a move on Monica, saying that she looks beautiful in the rain. John keeps telling him about all the warnings and red flags Monica is insinuating in their conversations and interactions, but Jack wants to have the moment with her. Monica tells him that she has fallen in love with Rome and wants to stay there for good. Lightning suddenly strikes, surprising the two of them. Monica clings tightly to Jack, and he assures her that if anything bad happens to them, they will go through it together. With his newfound idea, Jerry brings his and Michelangelo's family to the theater to give Giancarlo another shot at performing. He produced a show for him, only this time, a shower cubicle is wheeled into the stage. Since Giancarlo can only sing in the comforts of his shower, Jerry decides to bring the shower onto the stage. Giancarlo's wife is horrified to see her husband half-naked on stage. Giancarlo starts performing in the shower, and his performance goes marvelously. The audience is moved to tears, hearing his magnificent voice. Even Jerry cannot believe that he is more confident singing on stage while in the shower. He receives a round of applause after his breathtaking, one-of-a-kind performance. They celebrate the event. Jerry is exhilarated by the success of his production and congratulates Giancarlo for his spectacular performance. He tells everyone his vision or Giancarlo that he will be performing in the same manner all over the world. This does not sit well with Michelangelo, claiming that this whole thing is ridiculous. This sparks an argument between each of them. Jerry genuinely believes that Giancarlo is born to perform. Giancarlo claims that he has wanted that ever since he was small. However, Michelangelo claims that Jerry does not really care for his father and is just using him for his fame and success. This causes Haley to join the argument to defend her father. Meanwhile, Phyllis insists that Jerry just stay put, since he is already retired. Furthermore, she believes that he is simply not comfortable with the idea of being retired and is just trying to find an excuse to get back to work. Michelangelo's mother stands up from her table and starts yelling at Jerry. However, Jerry does not understand a word she is saying and tries to explain that her husband is going to be a star. She suddenly grabs a knife and threatens to stab Jerry. Both families intervene to calm her down before the situation escalates any further. Antonio's relatives hold a dinner party for him to introduce him to their associates. He sits awkwardly at his table, trying his best to act polite in front of everyone. Anna, on the other hand, does not care whether they are uncomfortable with her demeanor and drinks away. Antonio moves away from the crowd and tells Anna how bothered the guests are by his lackluster personality. He worries that they will not take a liking to him and he will not be able to secure the job offered by his relatives. In addition to that, he is still baffled by seeing Millie with a famous actor. Anna tells him to loosen up and pulls him behind the bushes to teach him how to make love to his wife properly. That night, Jack and Monica are left together to prepare dinner. Monica keeps adding wine to their dish, even though she does not know how to cook. Jack tries telling her it is already enough, until she feels a bit muddled and a little drunk. Monica sits on the couch to sober up. Jack casually mentions that he is happy for her and Leonardo, especially since he is the one who introduced them. With the alcohol to blame, she says that he does not have much of a personality to him. Jack approaches her and, against his better judgment, starts kissing her. Monica is reluctant at first, but convinces herself that she is just drunk, and this is just a one-time thing. The two of them head to the car, and there, they decide to cheat on both of their partners. One afternoon, Leopoldo travels to an isolated part of the city with his driver, Roberto. There, he speaks his mind, asking why he suddenly became famous. Roberto simply tells him that he is famous for being famous, and it is the people who decided that he is famous. Leopoldo is getting frustrated from all the attention he is getting, and the private life he lost. Unfortunately, the crowd spots them, and they have to leave once again. Back at the party, Anna congratulates Antonio for his splendid performance, knowing that he can pleasure his wife. However, Antonio feels guilty for committing infidelity. Anna assures him that this is just a learning experience for him, and there is nothing personal between the two of them. Luca brings Millie to his hotel room and offers her a drink. He plays some music, and the two of them dance around, flirting with each other. Millie wants to avoid being intimate with him, but her curiosity and admiration for the actor get the better of her. She goes to the bathroom to get a hold of herself. Jack and Monica are kissing by the lake. Monica reminds him that they swore that what happened between them was a one-time thing. But here they are, continuing their affair. Jack tells her that his relationship with Sally is coming to an end either way. Monica is hoping for a future for the two of them in this country. Jack explains that Sally is going to be stressed out for the week, since she has her exams, so he will break it to her after. Meanwhile, while Leopoldo is casually getting swarmed by the paparazzi, a woman notices a man crossing the street and exclaims that he seems more interesting. In an instant, the whole crowd swarming Leopoldo swarms the new guy. This sudden change of events brings delight to Leopoldo, and he runs home to his family. He tells them that his curse is finally lifted, and wants their whole family to celebrate. Jack, Monica, and Sally are at the beach together. Sally tells them how great she did at her exams, and the two listen intently. When Sally excuses herself, Jack assures Monica that he will tell Sally the news, and that he has planned a whole trip for the two of them. Monica excitedly tells him how excited she is for the places they will visit together. Suddenly, Monica's phone rings and she goes to answer the call. John suddenly appears and sits beside Jack. He tells Jack how unfortunate he is for falling for Monica. Jack says that he knows that choosing her is the reckless thing to do, but he cannot help it. Monica walks back to him and excitedly tells him that she got a part in a movie. It will be a 5-month shoot, to say the least, in 2 countries. She starts rambling about the things she should do, and how thrilled she is about working with renowned actors. Suddenly, the talk of being with Jack in Rome is thrown out the window, and Jack is left too stunned to speak. Millie is in the bathroom, and she finally decides that it is better to fulfill her desire to sleep with Luca, and regret it later than to let this opportunity slip away. She is starting to undress when a man holding a gun suddenly appears from the shower and holds her hostage. The two of them walk out of the bathroom, and the man demands Luca hand over his valuables. Luca starts handing out his belongings when a loud knocking comes from the door. His wife brought along a detective to investigate his act of infidelity. In a panic, the man tells him to hide in the bathroom, while he and Millie pretend to be a couple renting the room. Luca's wife, along with the detectives and paparazzi, barges into the room. The man immediately acts infuriated with all of them for walking in on his private time with his pretend girlfriend, Millie. Luca's wife and the detectives realize that they got the wrong man, and the hotel manager leads them out, apologizing to the presumed couple. Luca thanks the man and voluntarily gives him his valuables to him as payment. Millie is disappointed with the whole situation, as she lost her opportunity with her idol. The two of them decide to make the best of the situation and spend an intimate time together. Jack walks back sadly to his apartment with John. For consolation, John assures him that not being with Monica saves him from her unpredictable nature. They come back to the place where they first met, and finally part ways. As for Leopoldo, he is continuing his normal life with his wife, but he suddenly misses all the attention from being a celebrity. He is suddenly crazed up, and starts proclaiming himself to people, until his wife gets a hold of him. When he sees Roberto, the man talks to him and he finally calms down, realizing that he can be satisfied with his mundane life. Antonio comes back to the hotel to find Millie already there. She explains what happened to her, and how worried she is for him. He tells her that he is fed up with his relatives and their rich partners, and that he does not want the job any longer. He convinces her that they should just go back home. Even though it will not make them rich, they will still be happy. They celebrate the relationship they have, by finally having an intimate night for the first time together as a married couple. Finally, Jerry produces a wonderful act for Giancarlo, which turns out to be a huge success. His whole family, even Michelangelo, are delighted for his success. Giancarlo has finally fulfilled his dream, and wants nothing more than to be with his family from now on.